We're Red Rook Films, and this is the first of our Grumpy Old Men reviews. Today we are reviewing...
Testify. Bring your word if it's worth it's fine. Don't give me maybe. Don't give me I don't know. Baby, you ain't singing when you're crying. See, I was born on a storm. When I get gone, and I don't need any wrong to know better.
Alright, Red Rook fans, thanks for tuning in again. This was going to be episode 4 of our Grumpy Old Man reviews, but we decided to do something a little bit different this week after viewing both of the movies. We decided to do our very first Do's and Don'ts episode, as you can see. And the reason will become apparent. First, let me introduce our Grumpy Old Men. To my left, I have Grumpy Old Man number 1.
Carlos.
And Grumpy Old Man number 2.
Hello, I'm Caleb.
Over to my right, and of course you know me, Elizabeth, your amazing moderator every week so far. This week, the 2 films that we watched today were 50 Shades Darker, I believe, right? Yeah, and Secretary. After watching these 2 films, we decided to do the do's and don'ts of sex movies, as you can see by the emojis that we chose to use.
Elizabeth chose to do
Elizabeth.
the emoji.
We want to make sure that Elizabeth. Knowing that Elizabeth used these emojis and picked them out.
Being that these are both grumpy old men and, old men, they didn't realize that the universal sex emoji was an eggplant. So I just added the donut just in case we had other grumpy old men who didn't get it. But anyway, first impressions. Let's talk about the very first movie that we watched today, 50 Shades Darker. Holy crap, what a terrible movie. But I'll let our reviewers talk a little bit about that. Impressions.
Okay, so to start off with the movie, it starts off shitty, and in the middle it gets kind of like total crap, and by the end it is a steaming garbage pile of duty.
I love that summary. What do you think, Carlos?
It was basically a cold plate of fish that was just on a table. That's what it was.
Yeah. I would agree with both those assessments. And this is coming from someone who read the books, and even though they weren't great books at all, were miles and miles above the movie. Let's talk a little bit about what specifically we all hated. Start us off. First thing that comes to your mind. What did you absolutely hate about the movie?
Well, lack of story. It just seemed like it was different set pieces to where they just went from one scene to another that did not flow at all. Maybe the theme was like whoever was stalking Anastasia from one scene to another, which was the boss.
I counted 4 stalkers.
The boss, and then the friend, and then the mom, and then the stalker,
The ex-girlfriend.
and the ex-girlfriend. So it was
mom.
the only thing was just the stalkers and why they choose to stalk this girl who just had no personality,
None.
who had no redeeming qualities about her at all.
None.
It made no sense. So
She said it herself. She's nothing.
You, however, are certified vegans. And sorry to interrupt. Mia wants to taste one of your
If she was
cakes.
certified and insane, she'd be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
I see you tweeted out how to talk.
That was the best part of the movie.
When asked why.
she speaks for all of us.
When he proposed and she goes, why?
Why?
Thank you,
We
Anastasia.
don't know either.
You echoed all of our thoughts at that exact moment, and that was the only part that we were like, yay.
Yeah, we laughed pretty hard. Thank you. Appreciate
What
that.
else did we loathe about this movie, Caleb?
The lack of sexiness completely.
Thank you. Oh
I
my
swear to God, nothing said. There was no twinge down there at all. Nothing happened the entire movie.
Yeah, me neither.
Nothing. It was amazing how little reaction my body had to that much sex.
No, my body had reaction. It was like, That's what it was. So
I mean, god awful. So yeah, definitely the storyline, definitely the lack of chemistry. Caleb also made a really good point several times when we were watching the movie, and that was the music, which very surprising, score by Danny Elfman, who's a genius, but it's the
But they didn't use his score as much as
the
fact they just used shitty
put in
pop music.
a pop playlist and just
that didn't fit.
press shuffle. Yeah. So those are the top 3 reasons. I'll have to also go with just the complete horrible casting of everyone in the movie.
Best actor in this film so far is the piano.
Yeah. For my 2 cents.
No
yeah.
chemistry, anything like that. But can I ask something real quick?
Sure.
What was up the helicopter scene? They tried and put some sort of drama, but it was resolved within 5 minutes.
They did that all the time.
Every drama was resolved.
Every time they brought up some tension, it was resolved by the next scene.
It's like they
It
didn't
was
want
done.
us to
To
have
fill it.
feel anything.
No emotional tension, no
I almost
investment,
felt-
nothing.
This movie offended me so much as a filmmaker. I almost felt like it was a contest. Like, how horrible of a movie can we make and still get millions of dollars worth of tickets sold?
Yeah.
The only thing competing for that is like Transformers and Fast
I
and
am
Furious.
the least. I hate the Transformers movies more than anything else, and I would probably see the new Transformers movie before I would watch that again.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit.
Bumblebee and Shia LaBeouf probably have more sexual chemistry than the 2 actors in 50 Shades of
Bumblebee
Dark.
did lubricate that one guy.
I mean, no lie. There's anyway. So we digress. That movie was.
Let's throw a couple of what they should have done in the movie.
I don't know. Do you think it
He
was
brought
relatable?
like the helicopter on.
Uh-huh.
But, okay, spoilers. So like no one really
Please,
cares. But
you want us to spoil this?
Before he has to marry before the helicopter accident happened. So she has to marry. Helicopter accident happened. She was sad for 5 seconds, and then he walks back in fine. Oh god, that's terrible. But okay, let's say you get back to the marriage proposal. Helicopter, she didn't answer him. Helicopter crash happens.
Oh, for the proposal, yeah.
Yeah, if we just put that out and let's stretch it out for a while, and then when he does come back later in the movie,
Add some high
then
music.
she says yes because she's missed him and there was some tension and
Yeah.
that's how you tell a story.
That's not how they did
In
it.
this one, she had written down a message saying yes before he'd even
No.
gotten wrecked.
She bought a keychain.
A keychain, that's right. She wrote on the back of a keychain that she gave him for his birthday. That was dumb as hell. I forgot about that. But, oh god, it meant that the whole thing with the helicopter meant nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing this movie meant, and every time it was a fantasy as in, hey, I want to write a story about everything goes right for me all the time. Who doesn't want to read that?
Yeah.
No one wants to read that or see that or anything. You need conflict. It's like, here's a conflict, bam, solution.
And now she's like gonna be mad again. Like, you knew that was how their relationship was.
That's
You're
the
such
whole
a
thing with
stupid
her.
bitch. She's like all surprised. That gasp was so over exaggerated. He goes Neil, and she's like,
He told her what to do.
she did it. And I have to say, it was totally the film people that failed this movie completely. I mean, granted, the writing is shitty in the book, yes. But I will say, as I've mentioned to Caleb a couple times, that she wrote it online, the author, as fan fiction. Never expected it to blow up the way it did. She gets
Her
a pass
inner goddess dance.
She gets a pass for kind of shitty writing a little bit on that. But the fact that the filmmakers couldn't salvage it, that's just shame on them.
Can you repeat what was in that in the both the novel and the film, the something fuckery?
Oh, kinky fuckery. Yeah.
Kinky fuckery.
Yeah, she did. Although it made me chuckle when I read it in the book. But the actress who was cast as Anastasia was devoid of so much of everything, emotion and wit and personality, that yeah, it was not delivered well.
Can we stop talking about this one and bring up the other one?
Yes. So let's move on to Secretary.
How to do a
How
sexy
to
movie.
do a sexy movie. First of all, we'll just start right off and say if you have not seen Secretary, it is an older movie, a little bit, but you are
2002, you said, Carlos?
2002.
you're doing yourself a disservice because that is how you make a sexy movie. Let me hand it over to my grumpy old woman on this one.
So it's Secretary 2002 with James Spader and Maggie Gyllenhaal. And basically it shows Maggie Gyllenhaal is very naive, very innocent, and she's trying to go out into the world and try to make a name for herself. Trying to blend into society, I guess. To where she applies for a secretary job with James Spader. And starting off right off the bat, you kind of feel something's off, but you just want to root for her to get the job. And when she starts, her and James Spader start engaging in very different activities. That doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, okay, so one of the main difference is between this awesome movie and that crappy movie is that the crappy movie, 50, kind of makes it seem like everything's wrong with who they are. And this one is the opposite. The fact that the story of this is them accepting who they are. Like, the world around them is very
Limited.
80s, kind of like regular, what's the word I'm looking for? Normie kind of stuff. Like, people are all like hiding how they truly feel and stuff. And they made that clear with their family, right? Like, her dad is an alcoholic. Obviously, he has some problems that he can't deal with, so he drinks a lot. And she has problems, and she just gets out of an institution at the beginning of the movie because she liked to cut herself. And throughout the movie, her and James Spader's character, who also has difficulty accepting the stuff that he likes, learn through each other that they're the same kind of craziness, the same kind of weird. Weird is the better.
I guess two different sides of a coin.
Yeah, and that's what was so beautiful about it. And was the fact that that's what you're kind of looking for more than anything is just someone that's
Absolutely.
kind of weird like you are.
You're rooting for these two fucked up individuals throughout the entire movie, and a contract isn't shoved in your face in the first, 5 minutes like in the first 50 Shades movie. There's actual sexual tension throughout the movie that is exciting.
Yeah, and I'm paraphrasing what Caleb said. Like, they didn't blow their wad in the first few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They prolonged the tension all the way, and they actually don't do anything until
Near almost the very end.
Yes.
very end.
Yes.
But
So
it's
you're feeling
completely
it.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a very good movie.
And it's just a huge build-up, which is what we all felt just because of the fact that it's just, you were at spin like, is this going to happen? Is it going to happen now? No? Okay, cool. Let's go on further. And it was really good.
The acting spoke for itself. I mean, in 50 Shades of Darker or whatever, they literally shove the descriptions of the two characters down your throats until you're like, okay, we get it. Anastasia's supposed to be mousy. She's supposed to be, timid and shy. And they keep telling us, and we're just like, okay, this person's a terrible actress. But in Secretary, you get it. Right away, you get her character because Maggie Gyllenhaal nails it.
Yeah, they only had one really exposition of her, the thing on the couch with the photo where you asked her if she's shy. Other than that, everything else was mainly shown.
It was acting,
A
real
little,
acting.
little bit of exposition like from voiceovers, but for the most part, it's mainly shown. It was like acting. Yeah, it was so good. I was
Absolutely.
gonna say that again. It was campier than 50, but that also kind of works because it's also so weird. Like their sub and dom relationship is so freaking weird that the camping is.
Excuse me, what does sub and dom mean for those who don't cater to masochists and Sado and S&M?
Well, first of all, yeah. S&M is different. S&M, I mean, they're slightly different. Sadist and masochist is about someone causing pain and someone who enjoys causing pain, and someone who likes receiving pain. This is slightly different. I mean, they have that in there because they're close.
In both movies, yeah.
But sub and dom is a little different because it's more about controlling. Dom usually says what the sub needs to do, and she has to do that. and in a good relationship, they also, the sub messes up sometimes and needs to be punished, and that's where the whole
And Secretary, yeah,
stuff happens.
they both enjoy it. She likes being told to do things, obviously. In 50 Shades of Grey, she bursts into tears. Anyway. But,
She bursts into tears a lot.
yeah. So it's just totally different. And the other thing that we touched on what was done right and what was done bad in both movies was the music. So I think everyone will agree that the music in Secretary is also awesome.
Yeah, it fits the mood of the movie. I know it's not easy, but directors, filmmakers out there work hard on making sure the sound and the music fits what you're doing. Sound effects too.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna pull out the spanking, scene.
God,
Okay.
thank you.
So there's a spanking scene.
You said pull out.
Pull out. There's a spanking scene in both movies.
Spanking scene.
The first spanking scene in 50.
I can demonstrate.
Yes. Was spanked like this. This is what you kind of heard.
Anastasia, if I hurt you too much, tell me to stop.
That was it.
We're not exaggerating. It was so infuriating.
And I said to Elizabeth at the time, hey, why don't you just put a sound effect in there at least?
Seriously.
Fast forward to the better movie, the spanking scene in there,
Hot.
you
Sorry.
heard that, and you felt it, and she moved, and the tension happened at that point.
Actual facial expressions.
Expressions, oh yeah.
Actual
Yes.
expressions. Yeah.
Woo. Anyway,
It was intense in a good way.
Oh, really good movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. So, Carlos, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is it's funny how something so long ago, because the movie came out 15 years ago, it should have been emulated better by 50 Shades and all that, because
For real.
The main male character was named Mr. Gray. They're both called Mr. Gray.
E.L. James, how about you do something creative instead of ripping off Twilight and ripping off...
Again, we can't shit it too much on E.L. James. Filmmakers, get your shit together.
But my thoughts is it's great that we found something, because I've been wanting to see this for a while. I think you have seen it already.
I saw it about 10 years ago.
But I had never seen Secretary, and it was incredible on my list of top movies now.
So I wanted to see it, and I remember when it first came out, there was controversial, and they wanted to show, and it was just first brought into the mainstream. But it's a very good movie, and it just shows how you can have a good cast, good writing, good setup, good cinematography, and it makes a great movie, versus just a cash grab with the other one.
That's what it felt like.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to ask.
My thing is story first, people.
Absolutely.
Story first. Character development, plot first. Everything comes after that.
Yep.
I want to write some sex scenes, and I'm going to film in with, I guess, dialogue with, acting, and some shitty pop music does not make a good movie. Story first, then you build from there.
Absolutely. And Carlos, you're the encyclopedia, so I'm going to see if you know this. Do you happen to know the prospective budgets of the two movies? So I have a point.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think from what I don't remember.
Well,
But Secretary was an independent,
Yeah.
so it shows like it was less than 20 million. Definitely.
it would be easy to say that the budget for 50 Shades Darker was definitely
50.
a lot more than Secretary, so that shows you buy some good actors,
And
not
most
just
Yeah.
people who look good.
And it looked like
Good.
most of the film or most of the cash went to the actual music for 50 Shades.
Which is ridiculous.
To Beyonce, crazy right now.
I don't even know if
Crazy
that song
right
was in there, was it?
now. The first one, right? But
I
then
don't
they
think so.
tweak it and
Yeah.
I know. I know that they bought the rights to some other
the
pop
Coldplay
music,
song that your
then
old man rants about.
and they freaking just threw out we'll just get this other person to sing it. And I'm like, why would you? Okay, whatever.
50 Shades
Old man rant.
filmmakers, you failed miserably. What amount of Rooks would we give both of these movies? What amount of eggplants would we give both of these?
That's
So, okay, 50 Shades.
0.
I'm gonna give it a pun because at least it made us laugh. We made jokes about it throughout the entire thing.
Why?
Why don't you put the gun down? You don't know him. What he likes. I want to believe you. I do.
I'm so
But I
plain.
can't.
What about me is special?
Not a damn thing.
This is me.
Fucking workout thing. You don't like people. Why would you buy that?
Because he likes doing that.
That one move.
Good morning.
God! I hate you. Okay.
For secretary, I would give 4 rooks and a pawn. I give it almost 5. I give it 4.5. A strong 4.5. I mean, almost thinking about giving it 5. That's how good I thought that movie was.
Yeah. I definitely do 0 and 5 for me. What about Carlos?
Is there like a negative?
Yeah, if there's a negative, I'd be down there already. Let's say
a negative Rook.
50 Shades equals Transformers. How about that?
50 Shades, negative Rook, and for secretary, I'll give it 4 Rooks. Yeah, I like it.
All right, so you've heard it. Our first episode of Do's and Don'ts. We'll probably be doing this a lot because it was fun, and we got to spend the whole day watching movies, even though one really sucked. So we like doing that.
If you have any ideas for movies or other things, it could be anything, anything you want to, but similar things that are you think one's bad and one's good, we'll be happy to do more of these. This would be
Music,
fun.
books, yeah, absolutely.
Alcohol, if you want, we could try 2 different kinds of alcohol.
Like
NBA,
a bad whiskey. and
NBA
a good whiskey.
2020
Yeah,
versus
or a bad beer and a good beer.
Yeah.
Or
Good
a bad
champagne,
wine and a good
expansion.
wine. Yes,
Whatever.
you know what alcohol
we're
is.
happy
Just tell
to
us.
drink if you want us to drink. Rook fans, that's what we're trying to tell you. So thank you for tuning in. Please like and comment and share our video. And if you haven't already liked us on our Instagram or Facebook, Red Rook Films.
Subscribe, please, and also if you want to follow me on Twitter, @oldman_Caleb.
Here you go. Thank you. Bye.